actually, somehow, when JC asked me to give a talk, I was struggle. I don't know which topic should I talk about. Then she said, okay, just talk about your background, your experience in developing a medical product. So then I think that's why I come up with this topic tonight. And it's hard, actually. It's kind of also involved my experience on the US side and back to Taiwan. So I end up have to separate my slide into 2 different languages. So the first part I would do like in English. That's where I was working for a medical device company. But then after that, I moved back to Taiwan. Then we started to develop our own product and become a solution. So that's kind of how I start my talk tonight. So a little bit about my background. Actually, I'm coming from the computer science background. Studying speech recognition, human-computer interaction, and artificial intelligence. So nothing to do with medical. So how did I end up in doing medical? Because after going through the dot-com era, I was helping a company taking from startup all the way to IPO. And we had pretty good successful story, but the glory only lasts for like a year and a half. Then we have to split the company and sold it. And after that, the people I work with is become the CFO of Innovax Medical. One day he called me and said, are you interested in joining this company? They are developing some cool product, can do the diagnostic on the heart, and they need someone to help build a product. So I say, without thinking, I said, yes, I'm going to try, maybe for 2 months. So but then since 2003, I was been working in this industry since 2003, so it's been like 14 years. And then finally, because the technology is so good, and I think there's a better chance to, in Asia, like to see if we can develop into a much broader solution. So that's where I come back to Taiwan and start this Apple DX technology. And we were founded like 2013. Little bit background about Innovax Medical. Somehow I feel my fate tied to this company. So I got to give a talk about this company. So it was founded in 1997 by a former Hewlett-Packard cardiology team. And the first project they've done, because the engineering team doesn't want to move Boston, so they decided to stay in Oregon. And the couple of engineers decided, okay, what can we do? So they start develop the monitor to actually work for the sold by Will Challenge, and it's a pretty successful product in China and India. And then after that, they turned it focus into developing a novel technology called AutoCore, which combined the ECG and heart sound together. It's a good, very interesting technology. Actually, it's a technology took from the old school. Like the old phono was invented like 60, 70, but then since the ultrasound come along, people starting to forget about the sound, what sound can do. So I joined the company in 2003, and we started to build a product. So 2004, we have the first FDA-cleared device. It's called AutoCore CE. It's an expansion pack, add on to the existing 12-lead ECG. And then we started to develop our own 12-lead product all the way to the ambulatory monitoring in 2008. And then the company decided to turn the focus into more like a technology license. And that's kind of how we start with the partnership. So here's what we have, the algorithm. We have complete 12-lead ECG algorithm. We have heart sound algorithm. So the 12-lead ECG, as we know, is a resting ECG. You take 10-second data, and you generate a complete statement measurement, including like MI detection, ischemia, all these disease statements. And then heart sound is like it's a 10 seconds, can identify 4 different distinguished heart sound patterns, like S1, S2, S3, S4. Later I can get into detail what it means. And also, Innovax developed a much better MI detection. It's like a myocardial infarction. So it's a very, as we know, it's a 心肌梗塞. Yeah, so. Okay, so here's what we have. We are beginning with saying, oh, we got this great algorithm, we got to develop product. So we developed a 12-lead product. And it was working out pretty well. And it's a touch panel. It's a 3.5 inch. And it's a full 12-lead, so you can put those lead wire on the chest and generates the 12-lead report. It's a full 12-lead report plus 2 sound phono statement. So this product is in the market for a couple of years, but the challenge we are facing actually you also have a high, these are the performance data, because the algorithm we have a high sensitivity specificity for detecting the different heart sound pattern, and then we have a pretty good ECG performance as well. But then, what's the challenge there? Because it's a great product, but our main selling point is phono, but there is no phono in US, and we are so focused in diagnostic. And at that time, we were kind of faced head-to-head competing with the BNP in ER. So we have hard time to push the sales in US. That's why we turn our attention to Asia. And also at the time, we started to think about, okay, what can we do besides just 12 lead combined with heart sound? And so we started to look into this something called a systolic time interval. It's combined ECG and heart sound. You put them together on the same timeline, you can get more measurements to see how your heart pump function is. Especially that we have a couple of interesting parameters that can use to measure your cardiac output. So also we also turn our attention to focusing on improving our heart sound detection. So we actually adapt the modern speech recognition technology. So we turn the traditional heart sound into a viewable. So make a different presentation. So not only can we do automatic detection, we can also give up a present in a way that a physician might be able to just by reading it and be able to tell something about the heart. So we kind of, that's where we're starting to evolve into more different technology. So from the SDI, we actually have a very interesting parameter we call the electromechanical activation time. So from here you can see we talk about ECG and heart sound. So the way ECG and heart sound works, ECG like electrical signal, heart sound is like your heart, your mechanical part. With the pressure build up, your valve closed, that's where the sound starting to generate like the typical the S1, S2. So because it's related to the pressure, unless your pressure build up, you won't be able to get a good clean sound. So a lot of people with problem like the bad pump function, you will see there's a delay in creating this heart sound. So our research has shown that with the delay, prolonged EMAT, it has some bad contractility and the pressure build up, so it has a less systolic function. So those are just something we start to think and look at how can we differentiate ourselves by adding an algorithm, and then later we started to look into, and also we add like a sleep disorder breathing algorithm. So at that time, because the heart disease sometimes also relate to how the sleep pattern. So we kind of started to think, okay, we have sound in the traditional sleep lab. You collect with the microphone, and then you have the couple of like EEG and SpO2. But actually, we can just do it with one device that can pick up the chest movement as well as the ECG signal, and then look at how the signal was doing. Be able to come up with a quite novel approach to do like a sleep breathing disorder index. And then in 2007, 2008, we started to get into this ambulatory hemodynamic monitoring. It's the first device that can record heart sound and ECG simultaneously up to like 48 hours. And we also allowed, by doing so, we actually allowed a better ambulatory care of a chronic heart failure patient, and also we can provide early detection of heart failure. Because a lot of times, usually the heart attack strike you at you are unaware. So by having this device, you were able to look at the heart and be able to record the signal for longer term, and then physician can do a better analysis and also diagnosis about this patient's heart condition. And also you allow us to do this management, heart failure treatment management, because it's portable. So you can wear like 48 hours. And that's kind of give us the ideas, okay, now we have the algorithm, how do we make it into a great product that can differentiate ourselves? So then here comes to the Apple DX. In 2013, we got inspired by this 5-lead ECG. How can we make that into a wearable? And that's the part I'm starting to talk about Chinese. Sorry, Peter. And so, yeah, if you can understand. 所以关于亚博迪是我们在13年的时候成立，就是把因为原先呢，Innovice 在台湾有成立一个子公司，在2004年的时候，因为那时候跟经济部一起合作，所以把这技术引进来台湾。那后来在13年的时候，我们把所有包含之前所做过的全部集合成亚博迪。那主要还专注在一个我们叫伸缩时段，也就是我们刚才讲的 Systolic Time Interval 这个技术的变成一个分析的平台，可以提供病人还有专业医师更多的办法来诊断及确诊。另外再配合我们自己的一个穿戴装置，加上大数据，未来的希望可以造成一些预防突发性心脏病或是心衰的一个发生。这是关于我们的团队，我们团队主要我本人是在 Computer Science 背景，那我们中间有包含制造，还有很多我们的医学顾问群。我们主要的核心在于一个医疗级的穿戴装置，加上我们的一个独步全球的一个伸缩时段分析技术，也是 Oracle。今天刚好我们那个 Innovice Medical CEO 也来这边现场，等一下他会就这个技术再做更深入的一个解说。再来就是我们觉得这样的结合，我们变成一个可穿戴的心脏超音波。这个超实际上就是我们叫 ultrasound， 实际上的 ultra 的意思是用 Doppler 的意思，我们的 sound 实际上是用一般的我们的所谓心脏的声音。我们通过刚才所说的3D 的一个体现的方式，可以变成像类似超音波，可以用来做图形来去做判读。那这是我们的装置，就是说它是可以截取一个单导的心电讯号，然后可以做心音，可以做胸部起伏，甚至做呼吸声。所以我们的睡眠的那个演算法也可以做那个打呼的一个评估。再来就是身体的活动姿势、活动量这些。好，然后它是无线的，可以无线传输，也可以有线的记录在那个机器上面，并且是防尘防水，所以可以24小时佩戴。它只有43克的重量，所以戴起来基本上是非常轻便。那最主要的核心技术还是在刚才我们所说的 Oracle 这个伸缩时段的分析技术。从这边可以看到，我们刚才说这个技术，我们这个参数就有点像心脏的一个整体的一个功能。我们常常说心中后跨态的怎样，就是这个意思。所以以这个参数就可以反映出你本身的心脏的总体功能的一个反射。所以这是我们现在在最主要的几个参数，有舒张期的参数，有收缩期的参数，它各有不同的意义。所以我们的系统是可以自动，当你一旦捕捉足够的讯号以后，它可以自动去分析并产生这些伸缩时段的参数，可以协助医生来做诊断之用。那当然，病人也可以根据这个来去判断它本身的一些变化，像我们说的这个前置收缩期，就是心脏的功能好不好。所以对于说刚做治疗的病人出院之后要看心脏恢复的状况，这是一个很有意义的参数。再搭配我们的专业的一个分析软体，我们软体可以通过10秒产生一个快速的一个分析的报告。这个报告上面有我们的心电图的一个讯号，有心音的一个讯号，再加上我们的心室收缩不全的，可以用来做预后评估，还有心脏功能的评估。另外，我们有一个比较完整的心肺功能动态监控，有时候我们可以做连续记录，可以产生传统的动态心电图的报告，可以做心功能评估。一般我们在做心功能评估最难做的是夜间的时候怎么去做。我们知道超音波做的只是单点的时候，那个时候，那通过这个装置，其实我们可以做到夜间看它本身夜间的一个心脏功能的变化。自动产生一个报告，晚上是不是有不正常的一个收缩功能的问题，它会在报告上直接体现出来。另外，我们还加上一个睡眠报告。睡眠报告我们也是比较值得一提的，这个数据实际上是我们在台北荣民总医院所收集的一个资料，所以这个是一个很好的，我们通过我们这边所收的资料，在美国所开发的演算法，我们把它做成一个 device， 并且可以产生一个很好的报告。这个报告已经通过那个美国 FDA 的一个认证，就是说上面可以宣传说你是不是有打呼，有没有呼吸的问题，这样。